Yeah. Also, you in comedy is also exaggerated by its nature. You know, that's one of the aspects of comedy. So Craig told me, don't act. So that was one of the things. So what I would try to do is I would try to feel whatever I would just try and feel what I would be feeling under that circumstance. Hopefully my body and stuff would do the same. And that was fine, but then there's technical stuff you must also do. So you must try and feel, and then you must walk and stand on that spot, and you must look at this angle, and not really at Vincent, at him. He's standing behind the camera, and there's this huge polystyrene foam thing underneath you, because the light has to hit your eyes so you can look good on the camera, and all of these things, and maintain that feeling. It's very difficult. That's very difficult.
That's what I mean about the transition from life to art. You know what I mean? There's the fact that Riaad's character based loosely on his own experiences, but removed from him, it gives a kind of gives the performer an objectivity to be able to manipulate that character, say the things he wants to say for the whole movie, and not feel that this is somehow exposing himself, his family. Do you know what I mean? Because those things, that it's a fact of life that reality television takes over, and people watch reality television as if they're watching a car crash. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of they're almost pornographically fascinated by this thing playing out. So, you know, people failing on The Idol or whatever, all the formulaic formats. What they're looking for is somebody to fail. They want somebody to fall on their faces. And when you're performing a character, you're allowed to do that and not harm anybody, but find those facilities to make that as accurate as possible. So that feeling, bouncing off the feeling, that's the first and most accurate instinct of an actor, is to find the reality of the moment. So, I mean, and I'm sure that's true of being a stand-up. You know, when you're up there, you're vulnerable in front of a massive audience. The only thing you can rely on is that you make what you're doing believable to an audience.
That is why we were nervous also, because I'm used to, if I go do a stand-up show, right, and then if they're not going with me, it's not funny, let's go in the other direction, you know. But here at these premieres, the work has been done.
It's done.
You know?
It's there, it's
and
edited.
now I'm supposed to sit in there watching myself. I look at my nostrils, which are like these huge
got beautiful
jet
teeth,
turbines.
We got to see your teeth
My
close up.
teeth look
Beautiful.
good. Now I had my teeth done. I didn't like
Vincent, you are a South African.
That's right.
You were born in Cape Town.
I was.
And you studied drama in Cape Town. And then when was it that you went over to London?
In 1976.
And you've never returned?
Well, I have
occasionally, you've got a mom live, yes?
Yes, I've come back as regularly as I can, and as much as my acting career could have afforded it, you know. Mr. Kumar, I have to thank for frequent trips back home.
Good.
But, yeah, I left in 1976, having trained at the University of Cape Town, and I worked for 2 years professionally in a little theatre in Cape Town called The Space. Well, actually, it wasn't such a little theatre. There were three auditoria in what was an old iron foundry factory. But it was the only place in Cape Town that actors of colour could be part of a non-segregated company. And the market was being established in Johannesburg as well. And unfortunately, I never got a chance to work with Barney Simon and Manny Manaman. But the theatre in Cape Town was started by Athol Fugard and Yvonne Bryceland and Brian Astbury. Look, it was probably the most radical, the most inventive and imaginative kickstart an actor could have. So, travelling abroad, I wanted to just broaden my horizons. I had a 3-month ticket. Which I never, which it expired, and it never came back. My mum was extremely disappointed, but you know, my parents were never stood in the way of my ambitions. And to be honest, that when you're young, 25, you feel you're bulletproof, immortal. You know that things will come to you. So it was a massive adventure that hasn't really ended. You know what I mean? I've returned to South Africa 35 years later to have my first working experience after all those years. And and there's so much to learn still.
And how has it been
It's
coming
been
back,
fantastic.
working here?
It's been fantastic.
And the subject matter of this movie and everything. How's that
Exactly.
experience been?
It felt like the right vehicle, because I'd been looking for an opportunity to come back to South Africa and do some work. So when I read Craig's script and began to engage with him as a director, all those elements started to come together in my imagination. And again, you have to trust your instincts. And my instincts said that this was going to be something. Look, you never know whether it's going to be special. But actually, after the 3.5 weeks that I spent on set, I said to Ronnie at the end, I've had such a good feeling on this piece. And there's magic in the air here. And we kind of, you have to say, don't say that, because it might not happen. We might all fall off a cliff. But I kind of had a lot of confidence that material would be a quality piece. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It is a quality piece.
Visually, it's kind of
Beautiful.
an understated thing. But the DOP, Trevor Calverley, is like an unsung hero.
Yeah.
I mean, Riaad will attest, he was like our second instinct. Our left and right arm. He would be framing shots with an instinct for our performances that Look, making a movie or television is a very technical business, as Riaad was describing.
Yeah.
The lights. Sometimes you're not looking the other actor in the eye. You're looking at a hand that's on the other side of a camera, saying,
What craft?
That's the eye line.
Now be emotional.
Yeah.
How can you be emotional?
Okay.
Talk to the hand. There are all kinds of things that an actor has to put together to make a movie performance work. We had that in spades. It felt like this crew was flexible to the point of we could up sticks and move to the next location in a very short time. Look, the movie was shot in 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that all?
About 5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
How many years to develop the script?
7.
6 or 7 years and
yeah.
6 weeks to film.
well, it's like making a good curry. Do you know what I mean?
No, but
it takes you 2.5 hours, and you probably polish it off in 15 minutes.
It doesn't it's like 7 years to write, but we didn't just write slowly. It just means
I was going to say
we took
maybe
breaks in between when it wouldn't work. But there was like these moments, as we said, like the title of the movie, Material. That was one of those moments of clarity. It was actually at that point, it was still set in a bicycle shop in Fordsburg. That was I think the second or third draft of the script. And at that point, Craig would continue to have conversations with me about general life and the script and stuff like that. And one day he asked me, what's the most common question that I get asked as a comedian? And I said, people always ask me, where do I get my material from? And I always say, at the Oriental Plaza, because they give good deals as a gag, you know. And then Craig took a pause and he said, why don't we call that the movie? And then we all pause and then high-fiving each other. Psh, psh, yeah, ripped our shirts off, ran down the streets like a eureka moment, because it just felt right. And then upon further reflection, it opens up so much. Like, first of all, the beauty of shooting it in a fabric shop with the colors and all of that, the cinematography opportunities there. Also within that word, you actually, with a title, you actually have the conflict of the movie. I mean, the central theme, which is like the conflict between, wanting to take over the family business and responsibility to family and stuff, versus yearning to do something different. It also exists within the title. So that was cool.
It has so many ramifications.
Yes.
The material, the aspirations of one brother to have a much more material life, a prosperous life.
It's all there, as you say. It's all there.
The fabric of society.
We're going to take
Go
a
on
break.
and on.
This is too wonderful. Still 1.9 Chaifm, and that was Riaad Moosa. And incidentally, we have 4 of these DVDs to give away.
Yeah.
Riaad Moosa.
For the baraka.
Yeah, for the baraka. Okay, so we've got 4 of these to give away, and we'll give them away at the end of this slot.
Cool.
And when you listen to yourself doing comedy,
I don't really.
I can see you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah,
Right?
it's weird. It's strange. I don't know. It's cool, I guess, sometimes.
You're okay.
Yeah.
But watching, I mean, we were just talking off there about the movie, I was saying that each shot is so beautiful. It's like an art piece. And the music, tell us about the music. The score for this movie was something like you almost imagine that this was a very big budget movie because of just the score alone.
Now, there was a lot of love brought into this project, and a lot of the people that worked on it, I think, gave a little bit extra. I don't know, because they felt deeply about it. Like Liz Rennie did the score, and she did a phenomenal job. And this is all recent, and this is stuff that Craig was saying. I mean, we don't, we have no experience with, but you have to sit and you have to listen, you have to explain to the composer about what you're trying to get across, and then she creates beautiful music, to enhance what you are trying to do, and in much the same way as, like, for example, the editor, Megan Gill. I mean, she actually edited me, so I looked like I know what was doing. It looked like I knew what I was doing. That she was absolutely incredible. I mean, even with regards to the change in the script to the final product, she changed a lot, and added so much. Sometimes it just takes a few moments, a few seconds, a look here and there to add so much, And